96.7 The Beat is the voice of DJ Scream. It's Hoodrich Radio. Moran is here. We got a very special, legendary guest in the building. Speech from Arrested Development. What's up, man? Where you been? Talk to us.
A little bit everywhere, man. I've been good. Just, making music, touring the world, and now I'm starting to make documentaries. So that's been like a love thing. I've been, excited about it.
Now, one thing I wanted to ask you is, do you feel like when people bring up the forefathers of Atlanta hip hop that you should be mentioned?
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. And then how does it feel maybe to see some documentaries and just hear people talk about, because I go a little deeper because I'm from here.
Yeah.
I'm like, does anybody remember like Arrested Development in the speech? Like, ran it?
Y'all were first.
Yeah, and with conscious music at that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that was big. So
it feels you have to be patient on these things because, I've seen a lot of hip-hop books, a lot of hip-hop documentaries, and at times they say, the truth about what really went down, and at times they don't. And you have to, to me, I've learned to be patient to see that, okay, there's going to be a lot of these that's going to be made, and we have to straighten it out in due time. But, yeah, I think brothers like yourself and anybody that's been here knows Arrested Development was the first to really represent the South, and that especially visually, and blow up as big as we did.
Big records.
Like big records. I mean, it wasn't.
Won Grammys.
Exactly, won Grammys. So you know what I mean? You can't erase the truth. You know what I mean? So it just is what it is.
Now, I just wanted to personally ask you, was Everyday People a true story?
Yeah, pretty much.
True story.
Pretty much.
So you really knocked somebody out?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so not completely. You put a little gas
you embellish on it. I mean, that's the truth.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Nah, you do. You embellish upon it. I mean, so does every rapper do. You know what I'm saying? Like every rapper, literally.
And that's just true.
Every single rapper to the a little bit of embellishing. Like if we keep it real, every rapper is embellishing.
Well, at least in your case, you knocked somebody out that disrespected your queen. So
that's the whole point. I say in the end of that song, I say, the moral of the story is you never know who you step into. You could get stabbed, shot, killed, or hurt. It's never worth it. You know what I'm saying?
True that.
So I feel like that's the moral of that story.
And Mr. Window, which was also one of my favorites, where you kind of had compassion for homeless people.
No doubt.
That story, was that something that maybe you personally saw firsthand to inspire?
Very much,
record?
very real for us. Like, I used to own a little spot on Edgewood, and over on Edgewood, a lot of the homeless brothers would come and hang out with us. We would just build and talk about life. You know what I'm saying? As we were recording music and doing stuff, they would come through and we just talk about life. And a lot of them brothers was deeper than anyone would care to understand. Like, a lot of depth.
People put you on game.
100.
They put you on
They'll
game.
tell you how they got there.
And not just how they got there, but they see a raw side of life that when we're in the bubble of our nice car, nice house, but when you around people in their most raw form, and when you ain't got nothing, people get more real with you, right?
Yeah.
You see a realness of humanity that it was interesting.
And that was Edgewood before it got gentrified.
There you go, before it was gentrified. I've been here since '87, so that was somewhere in the early '80s. I mean, mid '80s, late
projects
'80s.
were still over there.
Exactly right. So you know what's happening.
For sure.
So yeah.
Now let me ask you. So Hoodrich Radio is a show about forwarding the culture.
Yeah.
Being that your speech from Arrested Development, what do you listen to? What do you currently listen to?
I listen to a lot. Like, for me, I like Drake. I like, Jay-Z. I like, but then, of course, I love all of this classic music that I grew up with, So for me, it's a mixture. I like a lot of different African artists as well, and artists from around the world. K9, I have a documentary called the N-Word Factory, and I don't know if I can say that on here, but
you say it.
Yeah. So the Nigga Factory is my new documentary. It's a 3-part documentary. I have a lot of people that I really like that speak on the documentary as well. So it's cool. I try to rep a lot of the new artists and of course the artists that I started up with.
Have you had any interaction with let's say maybe some of the newer Atlanta OGs? I don't know, Killer Mike's, Andre 3000.
Yeah, definitely. Outkast, of course, we recorded at what would become their studio and had some interaction with them early on because my dude Ian Burke, who I used to be roommates with, really helped get them dudes on as far as musicians and stuff like that. And then Killer Mike and I just talked on the phone probably a few months ago. We was talking about his special that he has on Netflix now, and him doing something on my documentary. So yeah, definitely, you know what I'm saying? And plus I've known him for years. You know, a lot of these cats we know from the very beginnings, you know what I mean?
Dirt.
Yeah.
So what made you want to get into making documentaries?
Honestly, it was the passion of wanting to make sure to continue to speak, you know, speak up for the things that need to be addressed. We have this amazing medium of hip hop, which is now at the #1 slot in the world as far as genres of music, which means we as black people have power that we regularly did not have. We don't have our own news shows really, you know what I mean? And so we don't have a lot of exports that reach the entire world like hip hop does.
True.
And so to be honest, as a hip hop artist, that's what I do. It's like to be able to do documentaries is just another way to extend my brand and extend who I am and my reach. And so it just made sense to me. Yeah. Plus, you know, I don't know if y'all know, like my mom owns a newspaper. She owns the largest black newspaper in Wisconsin, which is where I'm from. It's where I was born.
Okay.
And it's called the Milwaukee Community Journal. So journalism is something that I grew up around, you know what I'm saying? To see the issues that affect us as a people and to be able to talk about it is something that I've always believed in since I was 18 or so. And not before that, but like since I was 18.
That's hard.
What's some of the things in the city that you like to enjoy? Like maybe a particular, I don't know, restaurant, park, or an event?
For me personally, me and my queen, we love to go eat. That's like one of our big deals with our family. So we go hang out and eat, chill out. You know, we like Nan's over here, this Thai restaurant. We like Cafe Sunflower because we do a lot of health food. Yeah, I love that. They do a great job at that.
No American Deli?
I don't know if I've been to American Deli.
You from Atlanta?
No, I don't
from
think so.
here.
He's from
like I don't
healthy Atlanta.
Yeah, definitely the healthiest. I like Tassili's. We represent Tassili's over
Hearing
there.
about that, haven't made it.
So like,
oh yes,
yeah, we love Tassili. You know, stuff like that. No, I mean, I only been to Varsity once. You know what I'm saying? So like, there you go.
I mean, I don't know what to say about that one.
There you go.
It's not
okay.
necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
True that. True
What's
that.
something that you would like to see happen in the city? Like maybe, I don't know, a community center gets built or something that you would like to just see happen in Atlanta?
Personally, I would love to see the diversity of the talent get more recognition in Atlanta. Because I've been here long enough to see when there was rock groups like Follow For Now or, you know, punk rock groups like Peach Fuzz or what have you, or you name it. It's like there was so many different types of movements musically coming from this exact spot, which is what I think inspired an Arrested Development or inspired even a Outkast and Goody Mob and CeeLo. I think that same type of diverse movement musically is what I would love to continue to see Atlanta do.
That's deep. So you're saying that whole wave and that music probably birthed the ATLian.
Without a question.
Okay,
I mean,
sure, because everybody wants to know where the ATLian came from and why the dressing was different. And
it was totally different. And I mean, when you think about the groups that came from Atlanta, especially during that era, it was the most diverse, in my opinion, that hip hop was doing. I mean, think about what Outkast would end up doing. You know, stuff like Hey Ya and sing. Well, Arrested Development was doing that even prior to Outkast, and I love them, don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, that type of diversity of music, that was pre-Drake or pre-even Fugees and what have you. That's Atlanta. That's Atlanta. Atlanta had a lot of diversity. That's what I feel like, from my experience, that's where we were. You know what I'm saying? And need to be, again, always need to keep that diversity alive.
Have you get a chance to check out Earth Gang?
No, but I hear about them a lot. So
Do yourself
I need
a favor.
to peep them out. Yeah,
Do yourself a favor.
definitely. I saw them. They was trending today, I think, talking about them and Outkast. Like it was sort of people comparing them to Outkast. I want to peep them out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so like if they're fly to me, right? If I love them, which I probably would, I feel like there needs to be more of that diversity.
For sure.
Like it's one of the things I always loved about the era that we came out in is that there was this complete diversity, not only of groups and artists, but thought. And content, you know what I'm saying? Like
Raheem the Dream,
Arrested Development, right. All coming out the same city, tour with each other, Two Live Crew, Public Enemy, you know what I'm saying? X-Clan, and Tone Loc. TLC, Escape. You had a lot of different energy coming from here, and that to me is good for us as black people throughout the world because it shows our diversity, and this music is a lot of times the only introduction people get to black people, period, around the world. As I travel the world, our culture is mainly spread by what you see on television with us, whether it be Housewives of Atlanta or whatever, Love and Hip Hop, or it be the music that you hear from us. That's where they know us from. They ain't never seen us, never had interaction with us.
Now let's talk about this documentary, 16 Bars.
16
Let everybody
Bars.
know what this is about.
So 16 Bars, I went into a jail in Richmond, Virginia, and I wanted to work with the inmates on music. And I brought my dudes with me, and we filmed this entire process. And it got way deeper than I thought it was going to get. And the movie is like intense and beautiful and gritty and real. And so, yeah, 16 Bars is basically the story of 4 men who were locked up and speaking their voice and doing their music. And that's what it's ultimately about. And I think, like, on a personal level, that's what it's about. When you pull out, it's about the entire incarceration realities that are happening in this country, the injustice that goes behind it, and all of those things.
What was it like for you being a free citizen in a jail?
It was intense. I mean, with each layer of building sections that I went through, more and more of that freedom was taken away from me. And even though I knew that at any point I could leave, at any point, that's the theory, but still, when you hear those doors clank and you hear that metal clang, you know, it's a different feeling. It doesn't feel like anything you've ever been through before if you've never been in there. It's a whole nother feeling. And each level, each layer that you go through this door, they close that, open this door, close that. You realize you're going deeper and deeper into this beast, and it's a whole nother world.
And this is not your first documentary.
It is. That was my first ever documentary. Nigga Factory is my second documentary.
That's the second one.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And what made you decide to get into the film part of it or doing documentaries?
I think literally it was just another voice for me. Because for me, you know, being an artist, you do music videos, so you realize the power of visuals. And then in this new age, the power of visuals has even become that much more real. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times you could play a song for somebody, but you could play a visual and it'll keep their attention more. And I think the same difference with issues. You know, I feel like it just made sense.
That's true.
Yeah.
I agree.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Finally, man, like, let everybody know out there, the young people on the come up, give them some words of wisdom, some good game if they're trying to be creators of any sort.
Man, first of all, being creators is noble. It's incredible. It's an amazing field to be in. I love it. And I would tell people to be yourself. We need more people to be who they really are. So, like, we want to hear your stories. Be original. Come out with what your story is and make us submit to what your story is so we can learn from you. That, to me, is like crazy. That's what I want to see more of. You know what I mean?
Innovation and originality.
Innovation, baby. Let's do it.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Speech from Arrested Development. We appreciate you pulling up.
No doubt, man. It's good to be here.
Let everybody know where they can check out your documentary and give them your Instagram or your Twitter or your website so they can follow you.
Bam. My website is brotherspeech.com. That's where you could get everything. And then my Instagram is speech__. And then my the film is 16 Bars the Film. 16 Bars the Film. And that's where you go. Instagram, you know, what'd you say? Oh, thank you. And yeah, we're doing it live. Yeah, that's right. So the film is being screened right here in the ATL for the first time ever, October 5th. And so go to my website to get all the information or go to 16barsthefilm.com.
Hey.
Okay, there it is. It's Hoodrich Radio 96.7 The Beat. Keep us locked.